The Raptors made the expected, though perhaps not wise, move on Friday and announced that they had fired coach Dwane Casey. Now comes the difficult task, finding his replacement. Taking over a team that won 59 games sounds like a good gig, but it might not be such an easy sell, because the Raptors don't have many options when it comes to changing the roster, and Casey likely maxed out this team's talent level. Still, some possibilities for Toronto. Mike Budenholzer. At the very least, Budenholzer knows the sting of not being able to beat LeBron James in the playoffs, having brought his Atlanta team to 60 wins in 2015, only to lose to Cleveland in the conference finals. The last season with the Hawks has dinged Budenholzer's reputation, but he is a 17-year veteran of Greg Popovich's staff in San Antonio and still a very bright tactician as a coach. Alvin Williams was a Raptor for 8 years, and has bounced around as a coach, with Toronto, Philadelphia and Boston. He is probably too green to take over the team, but his connection with the organization is strong. Kenny Smith has expressed some interest in moving from the television set to the sidelines, and a team like the Raptors might be good for a guy who is new at this. Smith has a good gig with TNT, and would need the right job to be lured away from TV. He was a candidate for the job in Houston, where he spent the bulk of his NBA career, in 2016, and going to a ready-made winning situation like Toronto might have some appeal for him. At Messina, he's a long shot, and his reputation for toughness might not go over too well among veteran Raptors. But he's got the legitimacy that comes with spending time next to Popovich on the Spurs bench, and his track record of success in Europe is undeniable. Rex Calamian. Nick Nurse. There's a chance that the Raptors could keep things simple and go with a guy already on staff. Calamian and Nurse are two young Raptors assistants who have been getting consideration for head coaching jobs. Calamian has developed a knack for good relationships with star players. He had a bond with Russell Westbrook during his time in Oklahoma City, and has the same with DeMar DeRozan. Nurse is considered an offensive guru and was instrumental in instituting changes to the Toronto attack. It's likely, though, that Toronto will bring in a new voice altogether. Jerry Stackhouse. Stackhouse has been coaching Toronto's G League team for 2 years. He has a reputation for old-school discipline, which might not fit well with an established veteran team. He also runs a grinding style of offense that might not suit the Toronto offense. Monty Williams. Like Stackhouse, Williams has a reputation for coaching a slower, more methodical style in an era of quick-end pace and three-point shots that come in a flurry. Williams' teams in New Orleans were consistently in the bottom 5 in pace, and in the bottom half of the league in three-pointers. He'd have to make adjustments to modernize a bit, but Williams has some credibility as a former head coach. Jay Larranaga. Brad Stevens' coaching stock has skyrocketed this season, especially in the playoffs, so it's about time his staff begins to get rated. Larranaga has been getting attention as a potential head coach for a couple of years, and he is probably ready to make the leap. He's also interviewed with Charlotte. David Blatt. Blatt is eager to get back into the NBA, and his year and a half with the Cavaliers, 83-40, 14-6 in the playoffs and a trip to the finals, shows he is worthy of another chance. He's a very good X's and O's coach, and the book on him is that he'd be better with a young team in need of development. That's not the Raptors, obviously, but he could get consideration anyway.